I'll go over a PowerPoint here just on some general commercial vehicle regulations. Then we'll do some product specific stuff with you guys with the rock and the block, the landscape as we go. Okay? So just to start off, in the state of Minnesota, for the most part, there's probably close to 80 of us commercial vehicle inspectors statewide that just enforce commercial vehicle regulations. Okay, we went to some specialized training, 16 weeks of federal training and certification for commercial vehicles, because if you're gonna stop a commercial vehicle, do an inspection, potentially put it out of service for one reason or another, and you're stopping commerce, you probably should know what you're talking about. So we do have quite extensive training on the commercial vehicle side with a year of field training. Okay, so we also have some troopers that work the roads that went to our training that do a little bit of commercial vehicle stuff on the side too. Probably triple that now that work with us and go out and do inspections. Okay, so our state's very proactive on commercial vehicle. Okay, Colonel Langer, anybody know our colonel? Okay, he's very proactive on distracted driving, towards zero death, things like that. So the commercial vehicle side, we got 80,000 pounds going down the road. Needs to be focused on pretty heavily, especially, to be honest, in your guys' industry. Some of the areas we look at the hardest, you know, when you're dealing with spilling rocks, landscape blocks, things like that, crack and off. So get into some of that as we go. We've got mobile weight enforcement. That's what I do. I've got my own vehicle. I take home tonight, leave my driveway, and then park it there at the end of the night. I cover 11 counties in southeastern Minnesota. So we've got big scale sites, like on the St. Croix scale, where you drive to those inspectors and you get randomly selected for inspection. So there's a number of ways to get inspected. A lot of roadside inspections in towns. You maybe see us in certain cities set up. If we get complaints on speeding, loud, any kind of complaints we get on trucks, we'll just go work that town. Okay? We do all the school bus and motor coach in the state. Every school bus annually has to be inspected by one of us. So a lot of buses, so we guys that just focus on school buses. And then we'll go to the Twins games, the Vikings games, after passengers are offloaded, and we'll check the equipment to make sure they got a safe ride home. So a number of things we do out in the state of Minnesota with commercial vehicle. So, anybody here from Wisconsin? Iowa? They're very proactive too. Our northern Midwest states are real proactive on commercial vehicle. I've been down south, done some training. Some states aren't as proactive, but up here we do get that. When we do stop you for an inspection, there's 3 levels of inspections that we do. Level 1, 2, and a 3. Okay? So a level 3 is the least stringent, least time consuming. We talk to the driver, interview him, grab all his paperwork, his credentials that are associated with that load, and then everything in the cab, his office, that's in there. Fire extinguisher triangles, defroster, things like that, windshield condition. His office, that's a level 3, not a whole lot to it. Okay, and that takes about a half hour, in and out with the paperwork and the interview. Then a level 2 is that plus a walk around of the vehicle. So physically walk around, all the lights on, looking at tires, wheels, suspension, anything we can poke our head into, see, touch, feel all the way around that vehicle. That would be a level 2. About 45 minutes, I guess. And then a level 1 are those 2. In addition, we'll go underneath and do all brake measurements. Okay? So then that gets to be a little more detailed. That's a level 1 with about an hour and 15 minutes. Right? So those are the 3 levels that we do if you are stopped for an inspection. Okay? What dictates what kind of inspection you get? I rarely do a level 3, hardly ever. If I do a level 3, it's off a driving complaint maybe. We'll stop, talk to the driver, make sure everything's okay. Any medical conditions. A lot of times we get a complaint of a truck swerving over the fog line, over the center line, things like that. So we'll stop, talk to them. Is everything okay? Are you tired? Are you ill? Things like that. Just do a quick level 3. What turns into a 1 depends on where we're at. We're not gonna do a level 1 on 494 on the road, you know. So level 1s usually are different places, scale sites, towns, parking lots, things like that. Sometimes we're doing a level 2 when we're walking around, we have to hit the brakes, so the brake lights in the back, and we can hear a bunch of noise under there on brake chambers. That might dictate a level 1. So, just depends on it, okay? The pole strip inspection is a report prepared at the completion of each day for each vehicle driven. List all the defects or deficiencies, sign the report, give it to your carrier. They keep that on file for 90 days. It's the motor carrier's responsibility to review all the inspection reports, repair all the defects, and there it says, or give reason why the defects or repairs are not to be made. Don't agree with how that's labeled. I think what they're talking about, we stop here, we find some lights that are inoperative, having an issue, we get back to the shop and now they're working. They'll sign off on it. They don't work, when we see them, they're probably not gonna work down the road again a day or two, so maybe have somebody look at it. And then motor carrier signed it, and it keeps it on file, like I said, for 90 days. And then your pre-trip, before driving the vehicle, you must be satisfied that the vehicle is in safe operating condition. Review that last inspection report, make sure if anything was listed on there, that it was repaired before the vehicle was reinstalled. Any questions on that? Carriers are usually been pretty good on their inspection reports. We'll get a lot of questions. We'll say, well, I'm the owner. I drive, you know, why do I have to do it? It's everybody that's driving that vehicle that has to do it. Doesn't matter if it's the owner, employee, lease the vehicle out, it always has to be inspected. Yes, sir.
I don't know, but I mean, I read something online about 100-mile radius for pre-trip inspection. What?
Well, there are some exemptions out there, 100-mile radiuses, but the inspection doesn't come into that area. That's for hours of service, it's maybe some fuel tax and things like that.
So the pre-trip is for
any vehicle, yeah. So, some of the exemptions, and not to get you confused, they've really changed them. In Minnesota, over 26,000 is when you have to do the paper retention. Under 26, you have to do the physical inspection, but it doesn't have to be listed on paper unless you find a violation. And that's just changed. And it's really kind of confused carriers and safety directors. Most of them are just having them do it the way they did it, be proactive, and it's done. Because I think that just came out safety, do it that way. That's it.
So if you have a regular truck and trailer, you still have to roll those out?
Yes. Yep. Yep. And like I said, you might not get over 26,000 on the truck and trailer, you still have to do it. And you don't have to note it down unless you find a violation. Or if you're over 26,000, that's got to be done regardless. So they've kind of changed it with the weight a little bit. It has gotten confusing. Instead of going easier, they've gotten more confusing.
Your personal truck, you want to do it for them?
Yeah.
Do it?
Well,
You want to do it then, but your...
his question was if it's your personal pickup, you're going to or from work, do you use that truck when you get to work?
It can be.
Can be.
Yeah, like a company.
Like a company on a truck. Yeah, it depends on it. I mean, if you're not on hours, you're not, you know, in furtherance of the business, no. But if you are, then you would have. And then I'll bring longer on that topic. So you got a pickup that's got ABC landscaping all over the side of it. You want to go up to your cabin, okay? And you're pulling a trailer up there to do some work. Are you subject to all this stuff? No. It's only when you're in commerce and furtherance of the business. You can use that truck for personal use. And you don't, if your wife wants to drive it, you don't need the help drive it. Like that. It's only when it's in furtherance of the business. Not do it. We kind of talked about what to expect. Sometimes, like I said, if we do get complaints in cities, we go into town and work that area. Speeding vehicles. This is for the cars too. We're mostly focused on trucks today, so I don't wanna make it sound like we're picking on the truck, but that's what we're here for, if you wanna know what's going on with commercial stuff. But a lot of this stuff, we do with the passenger vehicle also. So, they're not any better when we start talking about cell phones and stuff. Most of the time the trucks are better, but we're here to enforce regulation of the trucks, so that's what we'll go over. The cell phone, as long as we brought that up, in the commercial vehicle now for the cell phone, you can have one in the truck as long as it's hands-free or Bluetooth, okay? It just can't be handheld up to your ear. We do see a lot. I seen 4 of them on the way up here today from Rochester. So it happens a lot yet. But Bluetooth, hands-free, you can be on the cell phone in the commercial vehicle. It can be handheld. Right? Fines for that. People ask, what are the fines? It varies from county to county, depending on the long library fees, but I think it's around $1,500 for cell phone texting and walking violations. I think the biggest thing to worry about on that is not the fine, but if he was to hit somebody, texting. Time alone, I've got a video that we play at the end. That's a true Rock County. Just west of South Hero. There's an actual event that happened with a commercial vehicle and cell phone, so we'll probably play that before I leave. What I tell everybody too is, get a stop for inspection, hand your license over, and then maybe a binder with all your other stuff. Whatever pertains to your area, your load, your type of product, what insurance information, what bill of ladings, things like that. You can just hand it over. And then we'll do the inspection, get you in and out of there as quick as possible. Hopefully you're not going through the glove box for one piece of information, the visors for another, door pockets for some more. Try to have everything in order so that we can get you in and out of quick, so we're not throwing you out. Yeah.
We were saying somebody pulled over and they got an overnight and out the log. But
Not having what?
hours log.
Okay.
Or hours log, but in the book, there's that short haul provision, 950 miles.
Yep.
That they don't have to log.
Right. So how that works is, if you're a CDL driver, he was talking about getting stopped and not having his hours logged. So they got the short haul provision, and that states a vehicle within 100 air miles of the place of business that holds a CDL, or a non-CDL driver wishing to go 150 air miles from the place. They give you a little further without a CDL because you're not as big, that you can be on the short haul provision where you don't have to carry a logbook with you, but the time card needs to be done at the place of business. Okay? So if I stopped you now and you said, hey, I always say, where are you coming from, where are you going to? I'll calculate in my head, oh, you're about 80 miles from your place of business. I'll ask you, what are you doing for hours of service today? And your answer should be, I got a time card back at the carrier's office. Okay? So a time card can be a punched in time card, it could be,
They don't have to have it on.
they don't have to have it on. Not if you're in that radius. Okay? You have to be within that, and you have to return back to your home terminal and then have to be So CDLs now, how many got A's, Class A's in here? Good share here. So, Class A vehicles are combination vehicles, okay, over 26,000. So in your industry, what you gotta be careful of is there's 2 types of Class A's out there. You got one, we'll just call for short, everybody calls them semi-trucks. Truck, tractor, semi-trailer. Okay? Class A, combination over 26,000. So now they've got another A out there. I'm trying to think of what the restriction is, like a full restriction on it. So you got these bigger pickups and these trailers out there. Heavy duty trailers, 2, 3 axle, 1-ton pickups. A lot of those get over 26,000. And you need an A. So if you got an A tested in that pickup and trailer, you are restricted from getting in and driving an A of that. So there is 2 A's out there. Because we got, we're getting a lot bigger pickups. The gross vehicle weight ratings are bigger. They're putting more axles on the trailers. So some of these big trucks and trailers, they fall in the same definition of an A, even though they're not a semi-truck. But then they got a little bit of a restriction on them, so just be careful. Safety directors or owners, you hire somebody, you got a Class A, yep. Okay, does it have the restriction or is it open A? Yes, ma'am.
The restriction would be listed on the back, correct?
It should
No
be.
restrictions or.
Yep, it should be listed. Yes, sir.
I think it's just with or without air brakes. I've had both.
That's another endorsement or restriction. But the Class A,
Because like the first one I had was Class A without air brakes. And then
Yeah,
we
you can have-
bumped up to Class A with air brakes.
yeah, you can have either or, it depends on the size of the vehicle and with or without air brakes. So, that's changed, that's something fairly new also. You know, just like people testing on a 49cc scooter, have DMV, and then they go out and buy a Harley Davidson. That's what they're trying to get away from. They want you to drive what you're qualified for. So the Class Bs are single units over 26. Okay? Boss here, probably GVW out of 52,000. This vehicle up here doesn't look that big, but what they're saying is if that tank was full of fluid, say he's hauling water, whatever, oil, that might physically weigh over 26. Then he would need to be. So it's actual weight or weight rating. A's always have a trailer, B's are single units. Class C's, they used to be the old car license. Now it's a specialty license. That's vehicles under 26, but are hauling something special, hazmat, passengers, something like that. Well, they give you guys all in that category, but that's what the C's are. And now we got our Class D's, which is your regular license. Okay. Yes, sir.
Really quick on that last side, you said weight rating or weight. How
Yeah,
does it
yeah.
apply to commercial vehicles with 10,000 pounds? Does it go by the door tag or does it go by what they're carrying?
You can, like we had one yesterday, the gross vehicle weight rating was 8550 on the door. So he didn't qualify, right, for a commercial vehicle. Commercial vehicle law comes in at 10,000 and above. So this guy had a gross vehicle weight rating, we caught him speeding, opened the door, 8550 on the door tag. But he looked heavy. Tires were squatting a little bit. We asked what he was hauling, he had 3 panels in the back. So we weighed him, he was 12,500. So then he come into the commercial law bit by weight. So it's actual weight or weight rating, whatever is greater,
Whichever one's greater.
whichever one's greater, yeah. So if you got a truck at 12,000 GVWR, you're empty, and it weighs 8,000, you still come in by the tag. Makes sense? It's a little confusing, but most of the time you don't have an issue. It's cut and dry. We deal with the bigger vehicles, but it's sometimes a smaller vehicle, like the guy had yesterday, they decided to haul a little bit extra, and then that brought him in.
What happened then was this guy carrying the pianos.
So then he would have needed the health cards, he would have needed the DOT number, he'd come out of stating, missing some fees. It was over his tire weights, things like that, so. He was close to where he was going to load, so that was a good thing. And a lot of the stuff we talk about, all these regulations that the government puts on us, we're regulated, you're regulated. We stop and talk to you about things. It's not such a big deal roadside, we find something. The big deal is if you're in a crash. And that's what we're trying to prevent. All these little things that we might see. Some of the biggest things we see in your guys' industry is brakes not working on the trailers, okay? That's the cord that goes from the trailer to the truck. And if the truck was to ever separate, that cord comes out of a box or a controller, brakes are applied, so the trailer don't go just sailing down the road. I'd say 95% of them we see don't work, and that's an out of service. So then we try to find you a place to go get a battery or go get the brakes fixed quick. So it's a little inconvenient roadside, I know it is. But we do the best to try to accommodate you, get you going, get you to a place to get it fixed. But when we come out and do a post-crash inspection, and they're not working. That's when it's an issue. When all these little things are listed on inspection, and then it all gets combined, and then what part of the liability falls on you guys? Because an out-of-service vehicle is not supposed to be on the road, and we find out-of-service violations, okay? So that's where it's important to do the housekeeping with the small stuff. I had a slow bus last week that I was out, and I could not even see the red lights going on it. It had so much dirt on the back of that bus. So I followed it back to the terminal, talked to the safety director, and they said, well, the roads are pretty sloppy right now. And I said, I understand that. This wasn't a day's worth of slop. This was like a month's worth on there. The taillights had, you could chip it off. And they said, this is a school bus. They said, if I come to a crash right now, you were rear-ended by a car, I would list you were the contributing factor on this crash. So, you know, just gotta spray it down. So simple little things like that, you know, are an issue when it's a crash. So that's what we're trying to get through it. If people, you know, the housekeeping, I don't have time to walk around it today. Make sure the brake lights are working, things like that. Because if we do come to an incident, we check it. If they aren't working, that's when insurance companies and lawyers put liability on who's at fault. So we're trying to keep you from that situation. We don't want to see you in those situations. So Class D was the passenger car. That's what we got now. Then there's some vehicles under here that say you can be driven on a D that look just as big as the one on the prior screen. So here's a 3-axle, comes here, bigger truck. One would assume that should take Class B, right? But there's some exemptions out there. And anybody got any ideas why that one would maybe be on a Class D? Yeah. Farm vehicles do have an exemption that 150 miles from the farm, if you're the farmer or the employee, you can be on a Class D. So if this truck here had a grain trailer or he's hauling milk or something that's going milk from the farm, he could be on a Class D driving that and within 150 miles of the farm. And everybody's like, okay, does that mean they can't crash within that mile? Is that where they give them? Or? That's just what they've lobbied for. It's the exemption. Emergency vehicles, we understand. Here's a bigger vehicle, just towing one. RV, right? RVs are exempt. So you see these big buses going down the highway, and they got a unit behind them, then there's one more behind them, and you got a guy 80 years old, you got oxygen hanging from the ceiling. You can't see over the steering wheel, but he don't need nothing, just a Class B. So, and everybody says, well, why is that? And most I can say is, if everybody retired had to go out and get a CDL to drive an RV down to Arizona, what would probably happen to the industry? So I'm sure they've lobbied for it. So certain times of the year, you see them, just get out of their way, let them go. Let them get to Arizona and park.
Building codes, farmers are required to provide building codes too.
Okay.
On your farms also.
Okay, so they can build a barn, they don't need an inspector out there, they house and they don't need an inspector out there.
Kind of odd, yeah, they define that.
Yeah. So we'll talk about alcohol in commercial vehicles, so you know how it works out here. So in Minnesota, in most other states, the legal limit is 0.08 in a non-commercial vehicle. In a commercial vehicle, half of that is 0.04 before a DWI is issued, in most cases.
Is one beer for an average guy, is that 0.04? One beer? I don't know, I never been checked.
To have somebody check with one, it's hard to tell with body weight, what you've eaten, your experience, your metabolism. What we normally can say is roughly in beer wise, not mixed drinks, but beer wise, the burn off rate is about 1 an hour. You know, so your op rate, it's always hard to tell. But that's the legal limits in our state. So if you hold a CDL, Class A, Class B license, and you're driving your minivan home from an activity, you've had a burger and a beer, and you get stopped for speeding, officer can detect some alcohol, says I'm just gonna check you to make sure you're okay. What do you think it is at that point? 08 or 04? That you're good at? Who says 08? The rest are 04, okay? So if you're driving your minivan with a Class A license, you get stopped, you get checked, the limit's .08, okay? It's based on the vehicle you're driving, all right? You gotta be careful though, because if you was to get a DWI in your passenger car, you lose your CDL for 1 year automatically, and they don't have a so-called work permit for commercial vehicle. So cars, the judge can give you a work permit Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, point A to point B, whatever, work permit only in a passenger car. Commercial vehicle is just gone for a year. So just know that's out there. There's zero tolerance in a commercial vehicle. It's just 04 before it's a DWI. So if we stopped in, you got a little odor on you left over from the night before, we tested you and you were .01, okay, you would be up 24 hours with a citation. That's the zero tolerance. If you wouldn't have a DWI until at the 04. So just, if you're out late some night and you have to be to work early, just know it's not hard to be that 04. Right? You can't drink 3-4 cups of coffee, splash some water on your face, and you're good to go. Alcohol just burns off at its rate. You know, coffee don't force it. None of that. So that's our rules in Minnesota. 08 and 04, and the vehicle you're driving, based on the vehicle you're driving, is what the content is. So you come home from supper, you got a Class A, you get stopped. You were in 04. You wouldn't get a DWI per se unless you were impaired to the point to where it caused you to crash. Then you can still be charged. Just know what's out there, and that's how it works with the trucks. Construction workers, we get some of them that stop at bars and liquor stores after their jobs. Can't have any, that's back to the zero tolerance. Can't grab any, take with you home, unless it's on the manifest or the bill of lading. So it's have alcohol allowed in the truck. So
Again, if it's your personal truck, you drive to work.
again, if it's personal and still plaster all over the side what it is, you guys are going to a birthday party and you're off duty, and you're back to 08, take a 12-pack to the in-laws, yep. You just have to, if you get stopped for some reason, you just gotta tell them what's going on. That's why a lot of people get magnets on their truck, except for the new ones that are aluminum. You know, they wanna go up north, they wanna go do something, they just peel them off. But, you're more than welcome to leave it on too, if you get stopped for anything, you just go through the interview process and tell them what's going on. Seat belts, I gotta admit, in our state, they're all looking for seat belts. You see it on the billboards, the radio. Our goal is to have seat belt contacts daily, to make sure people are buckling up. So, just know they're all looking for it. Our colonel's, like I said, is very tough on it. We don't issue, like I said, the commercial limited license. We do it to get revoked or suspended on CDL. And I think if it's a second offense, you might lose it indefinitely if it's alcohol. No, I'd have to look at the new law. So health cards, if you hold a CDL, you every time, CDLs are good for 4 years, your driver's licenses. Health cards are good to anywhere from 6 months to 2 years, depending on certain conditions. But if you hold the CDL, every time you get your health card renewed, you need to run down to DVS, or your safety director has to send it down, and they link that together. So that way, if we stop you, we run your license, you got a valid class A or B, we know you have a valid health card, okay? New law is, and it's been in effect for probably a year and a half now. Get that renewed, you have to go link it to your CDL, because if you don't, they'll downgrade your CDL back to a D. So occasionally we'll stop a trucker or somebody driving a commercial vehicle and they got a class A or B. I don't even ask for the health card because it's not required. It's linked to your license and you want to carry it. We'll run it, it comes up class D. And we'll go up and talk to them and I forgot to renew my health card. So they downgrade. That's why I gotta keep your address correct. Because DBS will send you a warning. Then you go down and get that upgraded. Because if you're not looking at your health card every couple of years, you might forget that it's due, right? So keep that in mind with the health card. And if anybody's on a class D license in here, but still driving a commercial vehicle that doesn't require a CDL, then you have to carry that in your wallet with you because they don't downgrade a class D. So CDLs, they link them with DBS. Health, class Ds, you gotta carry them. And that's, they changed that to get everything, you know, we were getting a lot of unfit, unqualified people driving these big trucks. And they wouldn't know to get in trouble until they got stopped. Because then we find out that they have a qualified license. So now they're making it go down to Lincoln, to try to prevent some of that. It'd be helpful to be safe if you're getting inspected, radio go off, just kind of do what every inspector is different. Sometimes the inspector will have you come out, look at some stuff. Sometimes they want you to sit in there, everybody's a little different. But just do the few steps there to keep everybody safe. Again, we'll get you in and out of there as quick as we can. So after the inspection, has anybody ever received or heard of the CBS 80 decal? You've gotten one before? So what they are is, they're kind of an attaboy sticker for the carriers or the driver. So if we do it's gotta be a level 1 inspection. In those 13 critical item areas, 14 if it's a bus, if they all pass that inspection, we can issue you guys a decal. And this goes in the lower right-hand corner of the windshield. What this says to another inspector down the road, they're good for 3 months, that, hey, he just got inspected a month ago. He had a level 1, no violations, probably just gonna keep you loose. You're going through a scale, probably gonna wave you through. Unless something sticks out, you know, real abrupt. So how they work is, the year in there, or the number in there is the year, the color's the quarter, and there's 3 months in each quarter. So, we're in 19, January. So right now you would have a green sticker with a 9 in it. And then we take quarters off for which month we're in, so we can tell which month it is. So the first month in the quarter, we take both quarters off, the second right, the third none. So if you were done in the middle of that quarter, we know you're good till the second month in that next quarter. So again, they're not a free pass, but they are basically, you're coming through, we don't see anything that looks obvious, we're not gonna probably do an inspection. I got some guys that we run across, they got stickers from 15 years ago they're on there. If they get it once, they're gonna let everybody know that they got it, it's not coming off. After the inspection, if we do find something, no CBSA decals issued, it depends on what we find, whether you're getting out of service or not. So, say we found some ID lights out, fire extinguisher maybe is discharged or not mounted, triangle's missing or something. Pull this out of the violation, will allow you to continue, and then you can repair that before the next day's business, okay? You can finish all your day. If it's not a service item, you have to repair it before you can leave. So a lot of times, we're not gonna leave you sitting on 494. We try not to tow vehicles as much as possible, especially commercial vehicles. We'll try to get you, I'll follow you. If the brake lights aren't working, a lot of times we'll follow you to the next exit, get you into a parking lot or something, get them fixed, right? But if you do get one of these, for some reason, don't go until it is repaired. If you look on here, it says operate a commercial motor vehicle in violation without a service order, may result in a fine up to $10,000, loss of CDL, or some jail time. So the feds are very strict on the out of service order. So each inspector will tell you what to do. If you got a guy breakaways the other day, we went a mile and a half to a parts store. They said, well, we'll park you here, and then you can go in and get your battery for that, and you go to the door. Just make sure it works completely.
Well, if it's not put out of service, you say it's just you made a note on there that load wasn't secured properly and the guy just fixed it right then and there. Do we still have to sign that and send it in, or is that only if it's all service?
Nope, that's any inspection. Everyone's got that on the bottom where you're supposed to sign it.
And so you're supposed to sign
Mechanic and the-
anything that's a violation.
Right.
Okay, which is what I do.
When you're walking around the vehicles, on the trailers, check the wheel flaps. You know, a lot of people are looking up at lights and stuff, and we sometimes tend to look at these or neglect them. You guys are in areas where things get wedged up in those duals. Then you get back on the interstate later on, you're going 60, 70 miles an hour and things come out. So we get a lot of issues with dump trucks especially. Broken wheel flaps or missing. They play a vital role when you're coming out of pits and yards, whatever, it's got rocks and they get wedged up in there and they come out. So we went to a number of windshields out because of that. So watch those wheel flaps. The law states no more than 9 inches from the bottom of the flap to the ground is what the law states. A lot of guys are lower than that. So load securement, general rule state must be loaded and equipped, secured to prevent cargo from leaking, spilling, blowing, or falling from the vehicle. Okay. This is basically anything we can see, a flatbed going down the road. It says it has to be secured so it does not do these things. This states for a truck that's got enclosed, like a straight truck where you can shut the door. Cargo must be contained, immobilized, secured to prevent shifting about or within the vehicle to such an extent the vehicle's stability or maneuverability is adversely affected. So what they're saying is that if you put a tire in the back of a truck, shut the door, going on the road, you have to swerve real hard, would that thing lose its maneuverability from that tire? You know, if you had to swerve for a child? No. You put some big rocks back there, 455-gallon drums of oil, shut the door, driving down the road, the child runs out, you have to swerve real hard, you know what's going to happen to the truck. We can't see what's in the back of that. So it's telling you, and we can't stop everyone to look at it, it's telling you that that's the regulation for securement in the box trucks if it's going to cause those issues, okay? So now on load securement, now that we're on that topic, yeah, go ahead.
So, I haul lawn equipment. So what's is there a 4-point rule?
Is it like garden tractors and push mowers and stuff?
Yeah, like, let's say 60 inch.
And we do get a lot of them we see, they drive the tractors up, leave them running, driving across town, you know. You see it in the winter when they're plowing snow. And it's supposed to be secured, you know, when you're loaded up on the trailer and transported to the job site. So you're supposed to have the tractors secured down.
So is it this has to be secured, or is there a 4-point where each will have to be secured?
So on the securement for the tractors, they got definitions of larger vehicles, bigger vehicles. So anything over 10,000 pounds needs 4 points. If it's under 10,000 pounds, 2 points.
Okay.
And it's gotta prevent it from forward, rearward, sideward movement. Okay? So on the tractors and stuff, just know what they weigh. Then each chain that you use on those bobcats, backhoes or whatever, it's supposed to have a adjustment, a binder. And now the backhoes, anything articulating is supposed to be secured. Over time. Yep. over 10,000.
You're talking.
Well, yeah, anything that the articulated in the back is supposed to be secured. You talk about the front, like the buckets, they need to be lowered. They say the large vehicles, it depends, it's really a tough statute to read it. Basically over 10,000 before they want them secured. If it's under, they consider it a small vehicle, it can just be lowered. But they want the articulated arms and back secured. The back holes.
On any way.
States articulated. So, some of the block stuff, you know. You guys got a tough job trying to secure some of that stuff. I realize it. Some of the biggest things we've seen on that were like cinder blocks put on pallets. Any kind of landscaping block, they wrap saran wrap around it once or twice, load the pallet on, put a strap on it, and call it good. So, with the roads we got in this state especially, the roughness, the saran wrap tears in the corners, them blocks on the corners come out. So, and somebody here may remember this crash down by Rochester. One of them cinder blocks come off the truck, bounced off the highway, went through a windshield, decapitated a teenager. They only have a saran wrap on corners. So we really enforced that for quite a while, and everybody's pretty good now with getting the edge protection on the sides and then pulling that down. Occasionally we'll see some, but it's not very often. You guys in your industry has done a very good job securing things. You got any specific questions on some of the stuff that's a pretty broad area on things that you guys all, yes sir.
So, the guy in jail that dropped the big drop off last summer?
I think that's
Still a lady in his dog.
still kinda in the,
Isn't that last summer?
I think it was. Yeah, that was a bad deal. Yeah, and I don't know what his outcome is. We don't, unless it's in the news, we usually don't hear about what some of the outcome is, you know? Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna we're gonna have to investigate. It's negligent for one. So, yeah. And then, you know, we get things like this, even on these dump trucks, there's, you know, 1-inch rocks coming off of these. They get bumps, doors unsecured, and those 1-inch rocks to a motorcyclist or a bicyclist are pretty severe. So I tell guys, you know, when you get out of the pit, walk around, or out of the job site, you got loaded, walk around, look at the rails on the dump, make sure there's nothing sitting up there, wipe the back of these off, and then the trailers too. Get like a steel weed eater or a steel blower, and go blow some of that stuff off, if you can. And I know you can't get everything off them tracks, we get it, but some of the trucks we stop and the trailers, the stuff's been on there, and it's vibrating, it comes off the side, and it is a big hazard in the sun. I'm sure most of you do a great job at it, but it's always that one or two that have an issue and make it a hazard. So. I'm gonna have a video here. I have some questions while he's looking it up, and then I got a video on the distracted driving that we use.
Can you go back to the loose material? Do you have a slide on it? What are the?
It was that gravel in that 6 inches.
Oh, tarping?
Yeah, or mulch, soil.
When it needs to be tarped? Yeah, that's, unless it's a grain trailer on a farm truck that has distillery on it. That's less than 2 feet, it's 6 inches. They want that, that is the tarping requirement, yeah.
Inside that, you don't
Right.
It's older than that, basically.
What's that?
Is that like, peak of it was like just over, is that still the
Yeah.
peak or?
Yeah, that's, you know, and you get some loads, they're not loaded even, even if you got a couple feet, that's not as, sure. Depends on the inspector. And then if it, you know, if part of the load was like that, and that's part of the count, that's when it's the problem. You know, if it's a couple feet of it and you didn't tarp it, a little spot, and it didn't cause no problem, you know, depends on the inspector, but you may not get bothered with it. And then the projecting load is 4 feet. You know, if you got things on the back sticking out before it needs to be flagged. Yes, sir?
I got one question on that state patrol sticker there. I know.
Oh, the annual decal?
Yeah, for vehicles over 26,000 pounds, you need one. But I've heard a lot of rumors about trailers being
Right.
DOT.
And that's why I would discuss that without the picture, because there is the trailer. So we'll stay with Minnesota first of all. Anything in Minnesota over 26,000 is a Minnesota annual decal. That's truck or trailer. Okay, so if the combination's over 26, they both would need it, all right? So the magic number on annual inspection is 26,000. So if you got a truck under 26 and you go out of state, that drops to 10,000 for the law. So if you occasionally go out of state work in Wisconsin, you got a half-ton pickup and a 2-axle, 14,000 PWR, where you're at 24,000. You wouldn't need that over here, but if you went into Wisconsin, you would need it. That drops down to 10, the federal regulation is. It should make it, just, we always said, make it easy. The commercial vehicle, we need it. You know, you went in the F and bought, and they can try to confuse it. Yes.
What's the minimal max overhang you have on a trailer? Or
Yeah.
the filter on a trailer?
So your width,
Yeah. What's
So
the max you can have?
8 foot 6 inches on your width, 8'6".